Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Glitterbreak some more. Yes, some more Glitterbreak. So, last time we got a lot of this stuff done. Got a lot of the background stuff that was really needed to make it actually, function. So, what happened in the meantime? What's the jammerino in that regard? Well, generally speaking, I fixed some basic ideas, just mostly when it comes to wording. The biggest thing is I changed mine to acuity. I felt that was like a better word for what I was kind of going with, mostly because it's supposed to be like range combat and like mobility stuff, so acuity was kind of like the better option in that regard. There wasn't really a good, English-wise, didn't have a good word to actually kind of like fit it in there. And we also kind of, I fixed a little bit when it comes to the units, just kind of getting like basic ideas of what they are, and unit traits, and then the endurance and downstate. Again, it was just a lot of patching up various wordings. Also did this a little bit better. Yeah, again, it was quite literally just me going through and fixing things. So today we can actually say this is going to be actually the meat of the game. I want to get all of this done, which this seems like a lot, but it actually really isn't. It isn't actually as much as it seems. For other notes, oh yeah, here's the lore. Yes, it's two small paragraphs, and is the lore quite literally? Give me 1 second. We'll summarize the lore. We'll summarize the lore for everybody here. It is Dark Lord of Evil and Chaos has decided to invade Earth to steal everyone's happiness. Some aliens called Glitters come by and empower emotional people. They fight. Boom. Deep and exciting lore. No Meguca's here. Fuck you, Meguca. I don't need you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I can't convert anybody to rifts. You literally just have to. You just have to experience rifts. You have to experience the Megaversal system. It's a beautiful disaster area. Love every moment of it. Somebody pinged me here. God damn it, everyone's a meme in the god. Nothing about reversing entropy. I don't really need it. It is quite literally just as like comical as possible. Yeah, destroy hope which resides in every human heart, drivel in their chaotic nature before moving on to the next. That is it. There's no other plot. You want plot? Go fuck you and the horse you rode in on. So generally speaking, we scroll down here. We kind of have some basic. I put in some basic artwork just to make sure that things actually worked. And there's going to be a piece right here. Now we actually have to do this stuff. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, roughly speaking, that worked. Oh God, did you hit that? Okay. So roughly speaking, everything is going to be broken down into like 2 major phases and 2 side phases. So we have our opening. Pretty much, it's going to be called like the starting phase, which is just everyone which is just setting up units, etc. Setting up units slash determining objectives. This is pretty much just set up everything, have fun, do things. Then we have the activation phase, which activation phase is going to be very simple. It's I activate a unit, you activate a unit. I activate a unit, you activate a unit. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not exactly the most complicated thing. Refresh phase is pretty much everyone gets all their magic back. Well, most of their magic back. And everyone checks if they've actually won. And if you're, for example, the objective is kidnap half the board, you would check at this point whether or not half the board has been saved. Because there's one thing that can occur, which is technically, you can annihilate the enemy. Pretty much nobody is up. You've annihilated the enemy, but they have completed the objective. You would still win. It's kind of when it's, again, checking for victory. Nope, no putties are actually magical girls. Nope. Nope. The most you're going to get is a campaign section, which the campaign section can be roughly broken down into everyone decides. Oh, God. It's going to be pretty much the more you do, the more magic points you get to increase your guys. However, there is one thing I want to... Pretty much what I want to have is... In the early game, like in an early campaign, the Glitter Squad is probably going to be weaker. Actually, here, like early game, you know, the Glitter Squad is going to be... No, you can't. If you want to date boys, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I mean, that's kind of weird. You want to do that in a war game, but I can't stop you. If you want to add lore and shit, you can do that. Generally speaking, early game is glitter squads are going to be a bit weaker overall. However, by mid game, everyone's going to be equal, and by late game, glitter squads are going to be stronger. Mostly due to how these various things tend to work. Because pretty much what I want it to be is, you know, losing equals more experience. Pretty much, you're going to get more stuff if you actually lose as a glitter squad early on. Because you're going to be at a disadvantage. You're going to be able to learn from your mistakes a bit more. Once you learn from your mistakes, you're able to win a few matches. Vice versa. So that's kind of the plan anyway. I don't know how I want to do the... I actually genuinely don't know how I want to do the campaign yet. It could be very boring or it can be very, very simple. Let's actually do this real fast. Alright, put it out, yeah. So we don't actually need to do the uplink phase, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to call this the initiative phase. Initiative phase. The first phase actually, second. If equal. Broken down to multiple phases. So initiative phase. First phase of the round has both players roll 1d20. 1d20. Let's see, actually. First phase of the round has both players roll a 1d20 with the highest seizing the initiative. Seizing the initiative and acting first. And activating a unit first. Seizing the initiative. On the first round of the battle, the forces of evil will always act first. If they are by glitter squad on the first round of battle. However, every subsequent round, is rolled. However. If the result is tied, the older player will go first. There we go. The older player will go first. The forces of evil will go first. If will go first if opposing a glitter squad, or how let's see, if the result is tied, the forces of evil will go first to If opposing a glitter squad, if two glitter squads or forces of evil are battling, then roll a second 1d20. Pretty much just re-roll. That's literally it. Because one of the ideas is I want to get the idea that the force of evil always have the advantage when it comes to initiative. They're always acting first, moving. The only problem that you have to deal with is that because they're operating a little bit quickly, you are the ones making the decisions, you aren't reacting. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, depends on the situation. So in the first round of the battle, the force of evil will always act first if they are against a glitter squad. Every subsequent round. So we have the initiative. We need 2. No, I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Personally invested in. So we move on to the activation phase. So activation phase. When it is a player's turn. When it is the player's turn. When it is a player's turn, they will select an unactivated unit and activate. Let's see. It will select an unactivated unit. Select any unit that has not been activated. Activate and activate. Period. An activated unit has 2 God, how do I want to do this? Okay, actually, I know. An activated unit has 1 action. Has 1 action. As 1 action, they are form. They're able to form. Multiple minions can be moved in a single activation as long as they are in range of one another. Another section here. When it's player's turn, they will select any unit that has not been activated and activate them. An activated unit has 1 action they're able to perform. Can be moved. Single activate. What we're going to have to do is we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to put the term minion activation. I'm only thinking of here. How would you do this? Okay. Minion activation. Minions are by their nature a are more minions are by their nature a swarm. Individually, they are weakened without major advantages. However, using the combined might of numbers and faith, combined might of numbers, they are able to threat. When a minion is activated, all minions within 5 inches? No, that 5 inches. Cause I'm trying to think about it, like, yeah, I wish I could just take it, just reference it. I don't have like I don't have a ruler or anything on me. I wish I had a ruler. I could actually tell what this is. Let's think. Actually, I might have a tape measure. I'm actually going to see if I can't find a tape measure. So, okay, I'll use my dice as an example here. I'll just grab a bunch of D6s, and I'm going to throw them on my desk. Okay, so we've got our minions. So let's say we got all our minions. I'm going to select the one right in the middle, and it's going to be 3 inches, let's say. So we use him as the center and see who is within range. So it's like, okay, so most everyone. So I can grab them all and I can move them all in a direction pretty much. They're pretty much acting as a squad. They are a swarm that is just saying, move this direction. So 3 inches doesn't seem very big though. Part of me wants to extend it up to 5, but 5 is way too big at the same time. Because 5 is going to let's think. 5 is going to be... Let's actually think about... So if we use... This 36 inches is roughly what? Scale's gonna... So maybe 3 inches wouldn't be completely remiss then. So it'd just be the immediate units around them. If we do that, if we do the idea that it's just these immediate units around them, maybe even adjacent, kind of like they're within like literally touching one another. So you're encouraged to move them as like a unit, like a full-on unit. You know what we do? Well, you know what we do if we have questions? We yell at the people who are smart. Question about skirmish. Question about skirmish games. Minion unit available. Available. Just a swarm of shitty. Just a swarm of shitties. But I want them to move kind of as a unit, as a squad rather than individual. Individual. So my question is, would making them adjacent to move as a unit work, or within like of a central person. Hopefully, again, like skirmish games are kind of like not my. They're easier. I will say this: they are easier than some, but it's like, how do I do this? Because okay, so minions are by their nature swarm when activated. When a minion is what is the threat? When a minion is activated, all minions to be determined are activated as well, and will move together in the same direction. Move together as in the same direction. Individual minions can be ordered. Can be ordered, moved around. See, individual minions can be ordered and moved around. If the player wishes. But pretty much, if you want to like individually bring them out, if you want to say, minion 1, you're gonna move this direction. Minion 2, you're gonna move here. Minion 3, here. If you want to do that, you can. The problem is that your action economy is going to be a little bit fucky-wuckied. Because these guys are hopeless alone. They're going to get taken out in a single hit. And especially if they are together, they're going to be able to pretty much mass and just detonate them. Which is also the kind of disadvantage of, oh God. Again, it's action economy. Fuck. I want them to move as together. That's the idea, is I want them to move as one. Not really be able to do much else, which I might literally be like an individual, like these guys don't just roll like their action die if they're alone or something. Actually, yeah, these guys would just roll a d20 by themselves because they would have 0 in everything. Because they have 0 in everything, hopeless. Let's see, are activated as well. We'll move together in the same direction. Individual minions can be ordered to move if the player wishes. Minions are minions who actually here's how we're going to balance this. Minions who are not within, we'll say 6 inches. 6 inches of an ally will be eradicated for desertion. Will be eradicated for desertion. Even which they will be immediately destroyed. So they're always going to have to be close to one another, or they're going to have to be close to the boss. So I want them to keep close, but 6 inches, let's think 6 inches is going to be... 6 inches is... Actually, no, let's bump it up to, let's say 10 inches. This 10 inches is going to be... Like, yeah, if you are, like, completely out of base, like, if you're just in a complete, like, separated somehow, you're going to be annihilated. And that also would make annihilating certain units a little bit more economical, you could say. I guess that worked. Again, this is gonna be like one of those mechanics which just stick with me, and I'm gonna be unable to know what the fuck to do with it. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So let's see. So evening activations, and then we got elite activations. Elites. Actually, no, we have to do kaiju. Kaiju activations. When a kaiju is not activate. Actually, when a kaiju is activated, when a kaiju is activated, they are able to. Actually, no. Fuck. I hate it when I. For those who don't know, I pressed the wrong button here. I don't know what the fuck button is. It's very annoying, and I can't remember what button it is. File instance. So let's poke some random buttons and see what. Okay, no, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. That one, nope. Nope. Control this. Oh, that's not it. Oh, that's definitely nope. Ah. My face exploded. Yeah, alright, I guess, give me 1 second. Select everything here. Here, we're going to select this, and then we're going to exit out of here, and then we're going to reopen it. Just fit that right there. Perfect. Don't know what that button is, nor do I. I'm gonna have to try to find whatever the hell that button is. And when I do, it'll be great. So I need to select you to be determined. Select this. So take action. Luckily, I have all of these. We just have a bunch of basic actions, which should be pretty simple. Actually, that does remind me. I need to put in. Okay, now we're going to put movement actions right here. So we're going to do the free movement maneuver. Actually, free maneuver. Actually, the maneuvering. Select all of you. When a unit is activated, they are free to move up to their current movement value. Move up to their current movement value once. Let me see if I can find movement thing. Nope. When a unit is activated, they may move up to their move value in inches. The move value is starting from the edge of the base and measuring the full length and moving to the back of the base. The unit can choose to cut its movement up in various angles. If the unit wishes to go vertical, they spend double the movement. Vertical, 1 inch vertical, 2 inch diagonal, to successfully move up. If a let's take a units cannot move through it. It not move through allied or hostile units on the field using this maneuver. When the maneuver ends, they are unable to continue. They are unable to use. Actually, how do I want to word this? When a maneuver ends, the unit is unable to finish any more of it if they had stopped. So the idea is that you cannot, as any movement, you cannot say move. Let's say you have a movement of 8. Let's say 8 inches. 8 inches. You can't move. You can't say 1, 2, 3, 4. Take an action 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do that. It's you've moved 4 inches. You've taken your action. That's it. You can't maneuver any. Yeah. No, this is working. That'll work. Full movement. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put minion activation second, put maneuvering first, because maneuvering is a little bit more important. Combat actions. Then we're going to luckily be able to just take all of this and then put it right here. So activate an object on the battle, such as an objective mark. All right, that's pretty standard. Actually, what we're going to do is just call this activate. You may activate an ability or an object on the battlefield, such as an objective mark. Attack. Uses a weapon they have to attack. They will roll 2d6 plus our versus target's defense, or willpower. Versus target's defense or willpower. They will roll 1d20 plus power attribute plus attribute versus target's defense or willpower. If they are successful, they'll deal the weapon's damage and target endurance. So range attacks again in melee suffer negative. We'll say a negative 3. We'll say a negative 5 to hit. It's pretty. Actually, no. We'll do negative 5 to hit. Its target engaged in with an ally suffers a. No, that's fine. What we can do is a sorcery. So actually, what we can do is we're gonna give these guys their own thing. What can we just move over 1 for 1 already? Activate's pretty easy to move over. We can move activate over, no problem. We'll make it 14. Unit may activate an object on the battlefield. Pretty much just activate, do a thing. Actually, an object or helpless unit, such as an objective marker, civilian. First things first. Okay, we've got that out of the way. What else can we add in? Full movement. Actually, what we can do is we'll call. Actually, let's curate this. Don't need the grappling hook. Hacking is going to get 10. It holds position. Any attacks against them take a negative 1 hit. You can hunker down too. So what we'll do is we'll break it down. Actually, we'll do attack ranged. The unit uses a ranged weapon they possess in an attack. in an attack. They will roll 1d20, 1d20 plus acuity versus target's defense. If they are successful, they will deal the weapons damage to the target. They'll deal the weapons damage to the target's endurance. So we do that, and then we can select all of these. Put that right there. We can just do this and this just to kind of, again, we need to curate. And then attack. This would be melee. The unit uses a melee weapon to attack a target. They roll 1d20 plus body versus target's defense. They are successful. They deal the weapon damage to target. Deal the weapons damage. To the turrets. Melee attacks. Melee attacks. Actually, when engaged in melee. When two. Okay, no. When two units are adjacent to one another, they are considered engaged. They are considered engaged in melee combat. Let's see, when a unit must either use a full maneuver, or make a body, or make a target number, or make an opposed body versus body check to break away from the unit. If they fail, they consume their full action. So pretty much, you can try to move. If you try to move, you're going to get into pretty much an attack of opportunity to stop you. Getting bogged down is kind of a pain in the ass. That's kind of the point. Let's see. You must use the full. So next we have to do a attack sorcery. The unit uses magic to directly blast. Uses magic directly. Use magic in a attack. We'll roll 1d20 plus. This would be spirit. 1d20 plus spirit. Versus target's willpower. They are successful. They will deal their spirit power die in damage to the target's endurance. If they are successful, they will deal their rolled spirit die. Calling it the power die. Yeah, the roll spirit power die and damage to the target's endurance. So, for example, let's say I have a D6 for it, and I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll to hit. So I rolled a 15 versus a 5. I've hit. I'm gonna do 5 damage to them, just because I just blasted them with magic. However, if I roll, say, like a 1, for example, I'm going to do 1 damage. Even if I might have hit them, it's kind of a little bit chaotic, especially when you're dealing with the fact that you might just be rolling things like D4. Might not actually have that much. Let's see. So we're gonna call this a full maneuver. Let's see. They will deal their roll and spirit power die and damage to the target's endurance. If a this will also reduce the in additional cost of one magic point. One magic point. Actually, half of the current unit's magic points. Magic points are used in the attack. So kind of the idea, like, this isn't really efficient, but if you have a lot of magic, this is usually pretty decent. If you have very little magic or a lot of magic, it's kind of like, yeah, let's start blasting. Okay, so let's see. Attack sorcery. If they're successful, they will deal their rolled spirit, power die, and damage. Hello, phone. We drop source. Let's drop sorcery attack, maybe, just because we want to. Baby. We drop the sorcery attack. We just combine it just straight down for spells. So we do a full maneuver. The unit moves up to their movement value in inches, starting from the edge of the base and moves full length until the back of the bit. That's fair. Movement attributes. Inches. A unit may choose to cut its movement in various angles. Actually, in inches following normal movement rules. A unit may ignore unit collision. May ignore unit collision or immediately break out of an engagement. So it's kind of the idea where you are, say, you're in combat. You're in combat. You can break away at that point, or you can move through units. Kind of the idea being that you're like flying through the air, or you're doing something like bursting through people. That's kind of the idea what I wanted to get across. It's like it's a maneuver. It's a clear thing you're doing. However, that's kind of the benefit or drawback. So hunkered down, unit holds position, attacks against them. Actually, they have a holds position. They have a +3 to their defense. Which is then we're gonna get to spells. So spells. Actually, what we can do is cast magic. A unit casts a known spell. Let's see. A unit casts a known spell. If they succeed at a mind check. Mind check equal to the target number of the ability of the spell. Okay. Mind check equal to the target number of the spell. Unit cast known spells they succeed. Units. Actually, if a unit is struck by this, if a unit is actually now cast magic, a unit, they will pay the magic point cost. They'll pay the magic point cost regardless of how much. Regardless of if they succeeded at the spell or not. Here's what we're going to do. Do we want to give... Do we maybe want to give elites like a bonus action? That wouldn't be the worst idea ever. So just one action, elites and kaiju get 2 actions. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. It's 2 actions they can perform. Actually, so let's... when it is player's turn, they will select any unit two actions an activated elite or kaiju unit has 2 actions they are able to perform, comma, while minions can only perform a single action. A single action. Multiple minions can be moved in a singular action. Say, yeah. Do that, we give each unit a little bit more leeway because that makes the Okay, so let's take a step back. Let's think about it real fast. So if we look at things from the point of view that a individual elite unit, you're going to have 3 to 4 elite units per... let's just say, for example, you're going to have 4 elite units on one side. Those 4 elite units are going to be able to perform any number of actions twice, and I don't have any restrictions on them, allowing you to perform an attack twice or use spells at least, or 2 spells. That means you're going to be more likely going to be spending your magic points a little bit more actively, unless we do something for the magic points, such as just like giving you augments or something. And that also allows you to play around a little bit more with them, such as being able to activate and be like, I cast a buff spell here and then I attack, or I do this and then I do this. Like, okay, so that's a little bit more nuance. That does still give the glitter squads a little bit of an advantage, but the thing is, they're going to have to compete with the minions as well as going to have to compete with the burning light of Allah. I don't fucking know. You know when you can see something, you can see it working. It's all about, you can see it. I can physically see everything moving. It's just, why isn't it working in my head? Why is it not going on paper? That's the part that's driving me absolutely up the fucking wall. And I'm very tired all of a sudden. I'm drinking coffee. Why do I feel tired? Cast magic. The magic point will succeed the spell or not. Yeah. I'm missing so I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? You okay, hi phone. What's up? You wanna talk? Cool, let's talk. Alright, let's get back to business. So why aren't you working? Okay. No, we're just gonna go rush through this. So actually we need cover terrain. Mint checks. No, we need to do aid another. That's why I forgot. We need to activate and then aid another. Actually, no, we don't. This. We need to put you right here. So a unit designates they are going to help another unit. If that help another unit. So if the unit is downed, they are brought back at half health, at half endurance, and no magic points. If the unit is injured, actually no. How do I want to do this? If the unit grants a unit a plus no. help another unit. If that unit is downed, then that unit is down. The unit is brought back at half endurance, and zero magic points. 0 magic points. So pretty much this is you rushing over someone. So this is me rushing over to someone. Someone is down. I'm going to grab that person. I'm going to get them back up, and we're going to do that. And we're doing good. So you can technically do that twice. Really want to. So, and 0 magic points. Actually, so already have, so we need to cover and terrain bonuses. We should be able just to copy this almost over for one. Don't need that. I'm getting the cover essential for survival. Actually, when in combat, cover serves as an important part of not getting injured. Let's see. God damn it. In combat, cover serves as an important part of not getting injured. A unit that is less than half exposed is considered to be light cover. All attacks against them taking a -3 to hit. Or actually, all attacks against them taking a -3 to hit. Two hits. Actually, how big of a deal? So this would be pretty much -15%. So yeah, -3 to hit. Pretty fine. So a unit more than half exposed. More than half exposed. Less than half exposed. Actually, unit that is less than half covered. A unit that is less than, sort of being light covered. All attacks against them. A unit that is more than half covered. Covered is considered to be heavy. All attacks against them taking a -6 to hit. To hit the unit. Unit who has height advantage over target, +2 to hit target and ignore cover they may be in, except if it's overhead cover. A unit may, actually, a unit may make a downward strike. Actually, no. We'll put in this for cover and terrain bonuses, and then we will do movement strikes, which will be as if a unit moves up to their movement strikes. If a unit uses their full maneuver, or actually their standard their standard or full maneuver, then makes an attack. If a unit uses standard or full maneuver, then makes a melee attack. A melee attack. They are considered to charging, gaining a +2, gaining a +2 to hit the unit, to hit their target. If a unit is above a target, and if unit is above a target, then chooses to move down to attack them with a standard full maneuver, they are considered to be making a downward strike. A downward strike, gaining a +2 to hit their target. There should be making a downward strike, gaining a +2, hit their target, as well as a +1/3, as +1 endurance damage if they do strike. There we go. That's pretty much what movement strikes are going to be. It's pretty much if you want to jump down on somebody, or if you are actually yeah, let's do that. A unit may combine their full maneuver and an attack and a melee attack chooses to move down, chooses to use a melee attack on them. Attack on them with standard full, they're considered to be counter strike. Unit may combine their full maneuver and a melee attack. Gain a +2 to hit their target as well. We combine the full maneuver and attack. Actually, no. That's pretty much what we're going to do. It's movement strikes. Well, what do we want to do? We want to emulate Magical Girl fights. We want to emulate people flying around and getting the shit kicked in. We need to do probably movement checks. So to disengage from another units, move through or vertical. I don't really need this because that's not really all that important. So we have movement strikes, cover terrain bonuses. What else do we need? What else do we need? We're going to do destroying cover. Destroying terrain. When a unit uses units. Units may employ certain spells or attacks which affect terrain. If the terrain affects the terrain, depending on the type of terrain. Actually, no. Back terrain. When this occurs, roll a 1d6. On a 1 or 6, the terrain is destroyed. Destroyed and reduced to rubble. If a unit is deliberately targeting targeting a piece of terrain. Let's see, unit is deliberately targeting a piece of terrain, then they may a 1-6 with a 1-2 or 5-6. 1-2 or 1-2 with a 1-2 or 5-6. Destroying piece terrain. That terrain, if terrain is destroyed, if terrain is destroyed, then it becomes a hazardous ground. It becomes hazardous ground. Actually, it becomes difficult terrain. It becomes difficult terrain. Here, where do I put rough? I don't, so I need to put that probably here. So if terrain is destroyed, then it becomes difficult terrain. Becomes difficult if terrain is destroyed. It becomes difficult terrain. To move across. Terrain types. Terrain. Certain areas of the board. Certain areas of the board may be considered difficult. A difficult piece of terrain immediately halts all movement. Difficult piece of terrain. Difficult terrain, I should say. That is considered. So it requires a full maneuver to move through. Move through at half movement. At one half movement. If a unit ends their movement, so terrain has the movement speed of the unit through it. If a unit ends their turn on difficult terrain, they will reduce their endurance by 1. They will reduce their endurance by 1d3. Impassable terrain is impossible to move through for one reason or another. If a unit is shoved into, is forcefully moved into impassable terrain, they instead will stand on the side of it. They will instead be put on the side of it. They instead will be put on the side and take bonus endurance damage. Or how long? Bonus endurance damage. How many inches deep they were supposed to go into the impassable terrain, which we're going to do a footnote example. Hikari, we'll do Hikari is smacked by a kaiju, which sends her hurtling into a building as it's considered passable. She slams face first into it. After checking, it was determined determined she would have gone 4 more inches into the impassable terrain. So she takes an additional 4 endurance and damage. Ouch. Because that's dangerous. Dangerous things are dangerous. News at 11. That's half the fun. Let's see, as it's considered impassable, she claps into it. Let's think. We have terrain. Actually, do I have... on out there. Let's check you. Do I have another file to consider? Give me something to work with here, baby. Come on, baby. Books that need. Window capture. We need to look at... Okay, here's on guard. On guard, please tell me, am I missing something? Also, like, if all I'm saying is, Osprey, please hire me. Let's think. Because again, these games are very rarely ever actually. These things are very rarely ever that big. Like they're not actually that. These. Yeah, they're making like counters and stuff, so maybe that wouldn't be a terrible idea to put like a counter system on, but we can use that for spells. Searching a room, spiking, disabling. Grievous wounds. I don't really want to deal with like morale or anything. That's not really. Ordnance isn't. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-da. Again, there's always something I respect these on like I actually have a pretty heavy respect for some of these Osprey's games just because it's like banners. Let's see special rules. Is there anything I'm missing here? Commander, no. Dodge, duelist, fast, fearless, horse master. Okay, so that's. I think I have everything I need here. I think I don't know. That's the thing. Like I genuinely don't know. It feels like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. So let's do the refresh phase. So we don't actually need to talk about down or dead because we don't actually have that. We don't have boosts. We don't have brain crash. So let's do. Okay, we have to do the refresh phase. So refresh phase. So when all units on the field, all units have been activated, the refresh phase occurs. Each of the players may distribute 10, actually, let's say 5 magic, let's say 5 magic points. Distribute 5 magic points back to any of their units. Let's see, each of the players may distribute 5 magic points back to any of their units. Actually, yeah, I actually know there's to any of their units who have a magic point pool. Any negative condition, actually all conditions and buffs are removed from the unit during this time. So pretty much, if positive or negative, it's going to get removed. Everything is kind of a little bit quick on that front. If the captain of the forces of evil is downed, all minions will roll a 1d6 on a 2 or lower. On a 2 or lower, they are destroyed for feeling fear. If a subordinate still active, then this does not actually. If the captain of the forces of evil and all subordinates are downed, then all minions will roll a 1d6 on a 1, 2. They are considered routed. And are immediately destroyed. As they feel fear. As they explode. As they feel fear. let's see. The glitter squad. Actually, each member of the glitter squad will roll a 1d6. Actually, we'll roll a 2d. Actually, no. Minions will roll a 20. I need to check the any dice. 2d6. Actually, no, it'd be 1d6. What's the percentage chance? 16.167. So that would be 33.3. So it's about 30. It's 33.3% chance. So for the d20 to get that, roughly it would be a 6 or low. Actually, on a 1 to 6, on a 1 to 5, on a 5 or less. Actually, no, we'll do on a 5 or less. I think that sounds a bit better. They are considered routed and are immediately destroyed as they feel fear, and are immediately destroyed as the Dark Lord does not tolerate fear within his own ranks. Each member of the Glitter Skull will roll a d20. Will roll a it would be a acuity or spirit check. Acuity or spirit check at target number 5. If any of the Glitter Squad members fails that check, if any of the Glitter Squad members fail, they are considered frightened. They're considered frightened and have a -2 for each of, and they have a -3 to all actions they take this round. They take the next round. Take the next round until take the next round. So if we do that, we scroll up here, we do an 8 another with 0 magic point. If that unit is frightened, then they will remove the frightened tag. Then they will remove frightened. Because that's literally someone saying, "Oh no, I'm scared," and kind of panicking a little bit just because you doesn't tolerate fears. Kills his own troop. Pretty much how I'm justifying the lore is that the Dark Lord of Chaos, or more specifically, the Dark Lord of Chaos and Entropy, it pretty much makes all of the putties and pretty much all his evil captains and generals and stuff from literal primal goop. So he can sense everybody. So it's like, oh no, this guy is afraid. No, I'm just going to detonate you because I don't tolerate fear. I don't tolerate that because he's a comical supervillain. He's a comical supervillain who quite literally wants to destroy reality. Wants to destroy all the hope in the galaxy. No one's like, oh no, all the putties are old Magical Girl. No. He's just a comical supervillain. And if I had it my way, if I could draw him, if I had a perfect art skill, or I had again an art gimp, he would look like a Toku villain. Madoka Magica, the word entropy gives me PTSD. Yeah, no, I get you. Pretty much entropy is one of those words that is like, I think it gets applied a little bit too much, but I also think it's really funny because again, I don't expect you to say the Dark Lord of the Dark Lord of Chaos and Entropy. The Dark Lord of Darkness and Entropy. Yeah, no, he's the best way I can picture him. Let me see. Emperor. Like this is if you want me to be specific, like this is how I see the Dark Lord of Chaos. Like I just see him as at Lord Zed, like just comically overdone. He just full on ridiculous. The kind of guy who just throws himself, at the problem as like I just want to I want to see all the happiness in the world eliminated because I hate everybody. That is the plot. Oh, I got it. Oh, no, there we go. We gotta click that button, then that button. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. The hell? Yeah. I want people like the goal is by the end of this is that you're not making villains that are like when you play a captain of the forces of evil. I don't want you to like be imagining like look at how evil like look at my grandiose plot. No, I want you to put on like a black cape made of ravens as your like Birdman in a leather in like a fucking fucking plastic suit, but your name's like Gargle Max or something. I mean, like, what does Gargle Max do? He casts doom magic to kill everybody using the power of evil because Gargle Max just wants to steal everybody's heart or something. Not kill anybody because killing people is lame. He just wants to steal the crown jewel of the Queen of England or some bullshit like that because he's literally Gargle Max and Gargle Max is an asshole. Like ridiculously funny. That's the idea. It's like I want to have a little bit of like tongue in cheek in this. And here's the odd thing. This is the amusing thing. Like I was kind of going through some of these like different Magical Girl franchises, and it's funny because sometimes you get like these like, oh, here's this dramatic lore, and other times you not. And even like my initial draft of the lore, I had actually written something like a little darker and edgier, completely unintentional. Completely unintentional, just because it was just easy to write that way, being like, yes, this is what this is like, because this kind of makes sense. I'm like, no, roll it back, notepad, roll it back, notepad. Oh, he wants to, what does he want to do? He wants to steal all the happiness of the universe. Okay, that's a plot. Like, does he need anything more? No. He wants us to steal all the kittens to make sure that nobody has kittens anymore. Like, overly, hilariously villainous at this point, but not like, I want to like, crash financial markets so everyone's poor now. It's more like, I want to make sure that like nobody, like I want to steal this pop star because so no one can enjoy their music anymore. It's shit like that. Like, let's see. Go to they're considered frightened. Have -3 to all of their actions. Take next round. Yeah. So the idea is that the forces of evil will detonate if their main guy. Again, you want to focus entirely on your shitties and your captain or any of your subordinates. Which in campaign mode, I'm going to be using the subordinate system a little bit more. But it's pretty much like the captain is the strongest, everyone else is below them. So each member of the Glitter Squad will roll a acuity, spirit check, at target number 5. Now, this is really hard to fail. Actually, I should say target number 5 plus, we'll say +3. Actually, +3 for every downed glitter squad, glitter squad member. Any glitter squad member fails. So pretty much the idea is, let's say I have a D6 plus D20, and I'm gonna roll. I've rolled a 3 and a 1. This is a great example. That is incredibly unlikely, and I failed. That girl is frightened. Doesn't matter how strong or how cool you are, you're scared because you're a fucking teenager going up against something that is probably going to kick your ass. And as things go wrong, you're getting more frightened. Which is, it's again, because getting knocked down, like getting down isn't a bad thing. That's like the big thing I want to get across. Getting down isn't getting killed. Getting down is like being out of the fight. So actually, I should say, down Glitter Squad member. If any Glitter Squad members fail, they're considered frightened and can only take one action that round until the end of the round. That round until pepped up, until cheered up, or the round ends. Which again, things are going to only go worse as everyone starts panicking. So if you have 2 people down, for example, everyone needs to make a target number 11 check. So it's like, okay, I rolled a 9 and a 3. I rolled a 12. I succeeded. We can still win this. Because even if you're downed, here's the thing, even if you are completely like frightened and things are going wrong, all you need to do is run like hell to somebody and get them back up. Run to your friends, get them back up. No one's going to have any magic points anymore, which is probably going to be an issue. Get to your friends. Together, you can survive. The only ones who don't really work together all that well are the forces of evil, obviously, because they have a bunch of shitty minions and their main guy. Main guy is the usual one whose job it is to both confront the Glitter Squad as well as be the one they need to protect. It's a very precarious position, but they're also going to be able to just say, I want to fucking kill that one. You're going to rush up to their warrior and power slam that girl's face into the ground and then grab their wizard and suplex her. Just fucking hurt her. Just throw her into a building. Get rid of her. Just make it go away. Oh no, one of them have a gun. It's time for some magic powers, otherwise known as my own gun. If you want to make your captain to be like just gunman, you can. Oh god. What the? Oh goodness. Okay, so movement strikes. Let's see, refresh phrase. Fine. Actually, let's do it like this. When all units have been activated, the refresh phase occurs. First thing is to check for victory conditions. Check for victory conditions, including if every is up, it's up and running. Including destruction, objective completion, or voluntary retreat. So actually, if no victory conditions have been met, have been met, comma, each of the players may distributes 5 back to any of their unit. Capture the forces of evil. If a victory condition is met, then proceed to end phase. Each of the players may distribute 5 magic points if the captain of the force of evil and all opponents are down. All minions roll 1d20 on 5 or less. They are considered routed and immediately destroyed, as Dark Lord does not tolerate fear within his own ranks. Okay, so all... So there we go. That's all we really need to do. We don't really need to worry about restoration of magic or anything like that. If no victim has been met, after everything has been completed, proceed onto the next round. Because on average, you're gonna only have about, if I had it my way, if things go according to plan, you're going to have, on average, maybe like 4, like I would say 3 to 5 Glitter Squad members. 3 to 5 Glitter Squad members, mostly just due to the fact of how I want to do the investment, that like getting them and training them up to make them decent is going to be way more expensive than just making a good squad. And so you won't need to make too many checks. You're effectively going to be rolling 3d20s plus whatever their stat is and just adding that just to check. It's not going to be too difficult. And the other one is like very dependent on whether or not they're downed or not. Which again, I really think I need to worry about that. So the end phase. Finally. Actually, let's do finally. If a victory condition has been met, then the end phase, begins. In a normal game of Glitterbreak, this is the conclusion of the match. And this is the conclusion of the match. Both players shake hands. This is the conclusion of the match. Both players shake hands. And have a laugh. During campaign play. Record all events which occurred during the match. During the battle. Record all events that occurred during the battle and add appropriate magical power. Appropriate magical power to specific Glitter Squad members, or the captain of forces of evil. Captain of the forces of evil subordinates. Yeah, this is kind of like a very informal way of like, yeah, end phase is quite literally just that. It's saying the game has ended. Like, the game is over. You determine who's won, shake hands, and have a laugh. End it nicely. If it's during campaign play, I have a few ideas. I'm probably going to call it here because I've been streaming for like 2 hours. So, pretty much for campaign play, I have, like, the big thing that I have in mind is just the idea that the Glitter Squad, advances individually. You're pretty much the player themselves is going to get a small amount of magic points by just virtue of just playing the Glitter Squad. You're going to get a little bit, but most of them are going to go to individual members of the Glitter Squad, and you want to kind of bank up that magic points to make them better, make them stronger, kind of individually they're getting experience points. You know, the forces of evil, on the other hand, the idea is that, you know, is that you're kind of, everything is focused on the captain, is focused on the one particular person at the head of the organization. That's the entire point. They're getting the lion's share of power, of resources and abilities, and they're free to distribute it however they feel among all of their forces. There is one catch, however, one big catch, is that if any subordinate, you know, has more magic points invested in them than the current captain, that captain is killed. The old captain is killed, and you replace them with the subordinate. But you also get a refund on all of the magic power that was kind of invested in them. So it's kind of that idea, like, you could keep mixing it up. You know, throw people for a loop. You know, kind of retire your old captains who are being built in one particular way, and then have a new captain in. Kind of like, with the idea being like, early season, you have Scrungo, the monster, but second half of the season, we have to deal with the evil true villain, or something like that. Kind of the, not necessarily monster of the week format, but more like here's like the big bad monster man who's evil and stuff, and you're kind of always and he's getting gradually changed. And I kind of wanted to represent the idea, like, yeah, you're an evil organization always plotting against each other. Oh, everyone's always trying to rise to the ranks, including being able to be like, hey, yeah, like, I have a dark magical girl as not my new captain now because I wanted to play one and because I can. The Glitter Squad is kind of adherent to what is selected. You can't change anything in your Glitter Squad. You're very committed to it. While the forces of evil can kind of rapidly change on the fly, but they're rapidly changing on the fly, so it's who you have this very reliable, very strong group versus one that's going to take a little bit of time, and it's like, do we want to shift our game plan? Do we want to keep our game plan? Or do we want to go at something that we aren't, like, no one's planning for? That's kind of the basic concept of the campaign anyway. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon, and on Wednesday, what we're going to do is, if we scroll all the way up here, it doesn't seem like we did a lot, but we actually did. What we're going to do on Wednesday is we're going to do the forces of evil, light, the forces of light and darkness. What does this actually mean? That means we're going to probably do a Notepad Must Die in the idea of trying to finish up the entirety of how characters are made, including things like spells and abilities and traits. Pretty much anything I can throw at it is going to go in here, and we're going to make our first initial Glitter Squad. Make our Glitter Squad and a Forces of Evil captain. Because that is going to be kind of the proof, you could say. If I can get a Glitter Squad functional, again, we're going to make it a 4-man Glitter Squad, well, 4-girl Glitter Squad, and in a full Forces of Evil squad, a Forces of Evil group, then, again, system has been proven. It does in fact work, mostly. And at that point, I can then add the campaign plan on Friday. And we hopefully, if things go according to plan, we'll be able to end it by Friday, which will be about as much as I can hope. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad and hope you all had a wonderful rest of your time. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, find me, and if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, feel free to ask. And don't forget, on the Discord, I do host things, and don't forget to vote on the next set of Curious Cases. Because tomorrow I get to subscribe to. Why did I agree to do the Bella Maga video tomorrow? Why did I agree to do this? The video is going to be huge and it's going to be annoying, but I can do it. I'm ready. I'm ready, everybody. I'm ready to do the Bella Maga cycle. I'm not ready. Oh God.